With the year of the FNAF Security Breach Ruin DLC coming up soon, I wanted to put out a few theories that I have on what actually happened to each of the animatronics. Now first I want to get Freddy out of the way, because it's pretty obvious what happens to him. He escapes to Gregory and even comes up with this ending scene showing both of them out of the Pizzaplex completely. Both escaping the huge collapse that happened there, and we are assuming that that is the canon ending of the game, where Gregory, in an attempt to kill Afton, actually collapses the entire Pizzaplex, hence the Ruin DLC. And we know Gregory must have returned to the Pizzaplex at some point, because on the poster for the DLC, he's on the monitors, so he must have returned at some point, and Freddy must be reasonably close by. So overall, I reckon that both of them will be in the game at some point, but others, maybe not. Now Chica. She actually appears in the poster, come to think of it, but in a lot worse condition than the shattered version. Here's a comparison between the normal one and what I'm probably going to call it a destroyed version of Chica. And from this destroyed version of Chica, you can see she barely made it out alive, so I doubt the other two animatronics would have been able to do that. And that brings me on to my next point, what happened to Roxy and Monty? Now, Roxy can't really see, like at all, so she wouldn't be able to actually see the exit to the place and would have died because she didn't know where the exit was. As for Monty, he has no legs, so he wouldn't be able to escape that fast and probably also would have been crushed. Now obviously this is just a speculation, this is definitely not 100% confirmed, but it could be true. It could be. Might be. Probably not. Now I did want to quickly mention the new banner, because it has all the shattered animatronics with Freddy that we haven't seen before. Now I don't know if this Freddy will be in the game, it could be, and because Franny is probably going to be in it as well, because she's seen in the monitors, but this Freddy could be in it, but the other three animatronics are all the shattered versions, so I doubt we'll just see normal shattered, especially because the Chica has been destroyed even more. So, and since the other two haven't really been mentioned at all, I'm going to have to assume my theory is correct about that, and they're probably been crushed by all of the rock boulders and metal and all that. And speaking of Vanny, she'll definitely be in this. On the monitors, she's nearly in every single one, with the signature eyes on a bunny costume. And I think we're going to have to play this girl at the front, I think everyone knows that really. I'm going to have to save Gregory from Vanny, well, maybe avoiding animatronics, and some people have even said Chica might even help us. I don't know, I'm not going that deep into it. Now there are multiple other animatronics, stuff like Endos, the daycare attendant and all that. I think Endos will most likely be in it, but probably some more destroyed version, and the daycare attendant I just don't think will be in it at all. I just think he would have been killed, because after 6 AM you don't see him at all, so where he's gone, he's either just left because he knew what was going to happen, because he's a bit mental, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it does make sense if he's not in it, because he's a daycare attendant. And why would you need a daycare attendant in a destroyed building? You don't. And on terms of the Blob and Afton, I really have no idea. Because the Blob could have killed Afton could have taken control of the Blob and Afton could have just died both in the rubble and stuff. But it's just impossible to say. It's so many outcomes, you just don't know what it is. Now, this is something that I found pretty interesting on my brain even come up with. This is about Glimmer Bonnie. He was decommissioned not too long before the game started, so he must be stored somewhere. They wouldn't have just put him in a bin somewhere. The owners of the Pizzaplex, will they? So they'd be stored somewhere in the building. And I think what will happen is the building will collapse and Bonnie will be let free, and maybe even we'll get to see what Bonnie looked like. And we may even have the chance to repair Bonnie and have him help us throughout the entire Pizzaplex, moving rubble, all that sort. Because I feel like he would have had the same kind of design as Freddy and Monty, having the stomach catch. And that's basically every animatronic in the game. This is the first kind of lore-ish video I've done, so let me know if you like it or not. And if you want to see more FNAF stuff, subscribe. Because why wouldn't you?